Hi, welcome back to the Jack and Glenn channel. I'm Jackie.
I'm her husband, Glenn.
He's my husband, Glenn.
Hey, before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that bell notification so you don't miss any of our reviews. Married at First Sight is right around the corner, but today we're reviewing Ready to Love.
And if you like listening to audiobooks, click the link in the description for a free 30-day trial from Audible.
Also, the holiday season is right up on us. If you want to shop online and you're an online shopper, make sure you click the Rakuten link in the description and get a free $10 credit.
And so now for Ready to Love. Whew. The guys are on deck.
Guys on deck.
And it's their turn to eliminate one woman.
One woman. Somebody got to go.
Yeah.
Somebody got to go home. Get up out of here.
Yeah, so we opened the episode with Rasheed, Simone, Edwin, Adriana, and they're talking about what happened with Chris and how when the ladies deliberated and talked about letting somebody go.
Yeah, and Rasheed felt some type of way.
He did.
He like, yo, that's not right. That's foul. I can't disagree with him. He said his piece. Should it be 50%? Should it be 100%? But that's not a reason to let the guy go. That's, to me, he was like, Naya's kind of fake.
Yeah.
Like, he really didn't feel. If you let him go because of that, you really didn't feel him. And we said that in the last review because she didn't get the answer she wanted from Chris, and she jumped to Edwin like in moments' notice. I mean, I know that might be a little bit of editing, but it's like, all right, Chris, oh, you ain't gonna pay no bills? Cool. I'm going to next man. Next man up. Yeah,
and Simone was feeling the same way as Rasheed. Like, we were in a deliberation like, oh, wow, you just going to shift like that? And Alex, I think Alex said the same thing. It was like how we get from...
And because
everybody, all the ladies in there were confused like, but you was gung-ho for Chris. She said, I wasn't gung-ho for nobody.
Well, not only were they confused, but they also felt like they were what's the word I'm looking for? Didn't have an opportunity to get to know Chris because they knew they was deep in love, or they were feeling the earth and they was grounded, and so they was like, okay, we're gonna respect this and we're gonna have hands off. We're gonna have hands off, so we're not gonna mess with Chris. So they feel like they cheated out of opportunity to get to know Chris.
And even Edwin, the next man up, he said that he felt like he and Naya had a connection, and he said he knows that they needed more time to see if it was genuine. Yeah. And he was going to explore that and kind of feel that out. But so that was before the guys met with Tommy.
Before they met with Tommy.
And so Tommy again, he let them know it's their turn. They got to vote off one woman, and so this time around, what they need to really focus on is connecting, making a deeper connection, and going past the surface. Pay attention to how the women respond, but get deep. Try different things. I mean, Chris got eliminated. It's more availability there. Yeah,
so he was right. Get deeper. Get to know them much more than she got a nice figure. She got a good. She talks this way. Get to know the intimacy or the mind of the person that you try to be with, and what they've been through and why they're where they're at now, and also get to find out why haven't they been hooked up or married or whatever case may be yet.
Yeah. And so then we see Naya talking to Edwin. And it's funny because she's talking to him about the fact that, okay, so Chris got eliminated. Oh, man, he got eliminated. But I know him and Joy are really cool. And me and him had talked about doing a podcast. So I wanted to reach out to him and, have Joy check up on him. And which we thought was odd. Like, you diss my man.
Right.
Y'all have been talking about a podcast. And then right after you diss him, and y'all vote, he gets voted off because you got turncoat on him, and couldn't nobody dispute you because nobody else had dealt with Chris.
Haven't dealt with.
And you want to reach out to him about doing a podcast.
And you wonder why he shut his social media down.
Yeah, she told Edwin that Chris had deactivated his page.
But he said in his exit interview that we saw, he said he's gonna take a minute to get himself together.
Yeah,
he didn't want to deal with you. What are you gonna reach out? By the way, I told him to eliminate you, but you know what? Can we still work on this podcast together? I mean, come on. What rightful man? He'd be like, nah, dog, we good. Or he didn't want her. It's just like it was bad timing on her part to still think about business, didn't think about the feelings of this dude that she hurt because, again, the mortgage situation is something that you can get over.
Mm-hmm.
You can fix that. It could be having a conversation. He grew up one way, you grew up another way. He's having an issue with you being independent. He don't know whether to let you be independent or be the man. And so he's navigating that water, and he had one wrong answer.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that's not a deal. What to her is a deal breaker. So let me not say it's not a deal breaker for everybody. But for her, most women, they, we had this conversation. Let's talk about how we're gonna handle our finances, which you should do because you're handling your finances.
But you should be talking about that closer in. It's like too early to be super deep about that.
But they want to ready for love. It's when you're closer to marriage, that's when you have the conversation because you're not leaving the show and moving with each other. Let's be honest. You still got your own lives, single lives. This is not like it's married at first sight. Those are that married at first sight conversations, not the ready to love conversations.
Yeah, and Edwin said that, it was unfortunate that Chris got eliminated and that he deactivated his page. But the same thing that Chris said when he left is what Edwin brought up. He said, well, maybe he just, wanted to get himself together, decompress, and refocus after the elimination and just, get back grounded with, what's going on in his life. And Naya says in her little side interview that Edwin was more her speed. He brings a stability in her life that she would need or whatever.
Right now. He's more her speed.
Like you say right now.
No. Stick around. Stick around. Stick around.
So next we see Jay and Winter.
Yeah.
We know the previous episode, they had a little foursome
conversation. Let's say foursome conversation.
Yeah. With the you like her and he likes you and you
they
like
him.
Yeah.
And just let me sure we don't like each other.
So Jay is taking time from so in that conversation he was with Joy.
Yeah.
But he said I do have an interest in Winter, so he's gonna spend some time with Winter this time. And so they toasted it and basically was like, we're overdue for this date. They hadn't had a date before.
Yeah, but he hadn't had a date before, but he really was into Winter and Winter really into him. And she was like, yo, basically, I'm competing with Joy. I know this. I know I'm competing with Joy. I know that, Joy is your number one, but, I do feel some type of way. She was like, no, I feel some type of way. And Jay was like, we all in this thing together and let's keep it honest. We're kind of mixing and mingle with each other. I don't want you to feel some type of way, but that's how you feel.
Yeah, but you know what Winter said, because Jay did say, okay, so this whole thing, and he's right, this whole thing is about dating folks and feeling people out.
Yeah, feeling people out.
But she was like, but if you want to talk to me, like, we're overdue for this date. If you felt like you wanted to spend some time with me, if you want to date me or whatever, she was like, then if I'm talking to somebody, come over and interrupt me. She was like, shoot, if you got to choke a brother out to spend time with me, choke a brother out. He was like, wanted to be wow, okay.
Be more assertive. I think what happened with women sometimes, they want to see you be assertive. That means you really want them. When they don't see you being assertive, they see you laid back. It's like, okay, do he really want me or is he shy? Sometimes I think they equate it to, if you're in a bar and there's a fight, are you going to stand up or back down? What are you going to do as a man? If you really want me, you should be pursuing me a little bit. And showing some interest in me and interrupting. I think that was Simone in the previous episode when she told Jay, hey, come here, can you help me with something? And got Jay away from Winter to, so they can have a conversation. So in this mix of people, got 10 guys, 10 girls, but I know it's less now, it is competition. And you got to find that time to spend with a person that you like. And so she wanted Jay to have more interest in her because if we think about around the house, she sees Jay with Joy a lot.
Yes, and that's the one point that she made is that she says, I'm not going to give exclusive benefits to somebody that I know is not exclusive with me. Yeah. And at this point, they're not exclusive. And basically she's saying, like, I'm not going to put all my eggs in you knowing that you like Joy too. Yeah. Like, I'm not going to get all wrapped up in you to get my feelings hurt.
I get down on Winter because she's on her grown woman stuff. She makes it make sense. She's got it all together and the point that, this is what we're here for, but guess what? I'm not giving you all of me if you ain't gonna give me all of you.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's put all this work in, and let's see what kind of benefits you can reap.
All right. So speaking of exclusivity and putting all your eggs in one basket, we see Calvani and Adriana.
Yeah.
We know that Adriana said that Rasheed was her number 1, but Calfani's her number 2. So she's focusing on her number 2.
1B. 1B. Rasheed,
yeah, 1B.
Rasheed 1A,
1A,
and Calfani 1B.
Not even 2.
Not even 2.
So they're sitting there playing checkers, and he's kind of getting the best of her, and she is like not feeling it. He's like, oh, you the kind of person that hate to lose. And she was like, yeah. But he was like, good thing is, she said, well, I'm not the type that, I could tip the whole table and be like, forget it, I don't even want to play no more. So she said, I'm not a poor sport like that.
I know some people like that. Not you, though.
Right. Oh, no, absolutely not.
No.
She said, I'm not a poor sport like that. So, I'm still playing, but I hate losing. And so while they're talking,
Denise comes
the poor sport walks past. But first, let me say, so Rasheed walked past first.
Yeah.
And he just glanced. And, he's like, okay, yeah, I see. It's a dating show.
He understands
He understands what's going on.
He gets it. I think this is the problem with this, not this show. This is the problem. Some people don't get it. It is a dating show. I'm supposed to mix and mingle till I get down to the final 3, till I find the one that I really want. I'm supposed to have an interaction with everybody, see what mixes and what matches. Tommy told you to go get deeper, so let's get deeper. Not necessarily with the person I'm with, but there's somebody in the house that I might not have talked to. Somebody else in the house I may not have interacted with that we can get deeper with. So Rasheed understands and he gets it. That's why, that's my dude.
Yeah, he walked past. He was like, okay, I see what it is. It's a dating show. It's a process. I get it. All right, and so they're still talking, and Calfani's explaining that. I mean, I feel like the conversation is coincidental, but then of course it's not. Yeah. He just happens to be talking about how I'm not with the arguing. I don't do a whole lot of drama and fighting. I realized that I was attracting the same kind of chick, and after a while, it was just like something changed. It clicked, like I wasn't feeling them no more. He said, I don't know what it is. So that's kind of like why I'm in here. That's why I'm talking to you right now, doing something different. And so just like Rasheed walked past it out in the open, Denise walks past. And man, sis is gritting. She was gritting and she was hating on him, and she gave that little chuckle like,
boo. I see what you're doing.
I see what you're doing.
Yeah,
she walks in the little place. I think it was the pool table.
Yeah.
In that side where the pool table was, and she was like, like, oh, she trying to get under my skin. I see what she trying to do. How she not trying to get? So she trying to get under your skin because she talked to the guy that you talking to. My question is, if it was somebody else, I'm just curious. Is it just Adriana?
It's Adriana.
If it was somebody else, well, I feel like she still would feel that way a little bit with somebody else.
She has a problem.
Oh my gosh.
She has a problem with Adriana ever since back then when she said she liked Calfani. And they're in that little circle.
Period.
And then she, oh, you are my man, boo, and you, because I don't like Rasheed. Okay, you gonna try to do this? You gonna try to do this? That's, it's petty. And let's not to mention, you dated Anthony. So I haven't had a man up behind me like this in a long time. You and Anthony went skinny dipping.
Yeah.
Right? You done showed him your tatas. Y'all in the pool together naked. And you mad because he playing checkers? Come on, Denise. Yeah, come on. Wake up, Denise. Wake up.
She was mad. So it wasn't enough for her just to be in a room by the pool. She had to come back out and walk past again. And she was like, I see what you're doing.
Hey, this is my best part. The best part of that is Jay and them in there cracking up because they see it.
Oh, yeah.
Jay and I think Jay and Alex, at the pool table, they are cracking up because Jay got his head down. He see what's going on. He's cracking up. Yo, check it out. It's funny to me, but it's also funny is that she's mad, but again, it's a show.
Right.
You gotta understand, he ain't gonna just be with you, boo. I understand Calfani's told you, he wanna break some generational curses. It just may not be with you. I understand, and she fell into when he said that he wanted to break generational curses in the last episode, and then it almost got Deacon Calfani got on her, right? So what he said was, and she was like, okay, dang, Anthony, you ain't speaking God to me, so you know what, bye. She went all in with Calfani, not knowing that she had weeks left.
Yeah, but she told him, she was like, keep it cute. Ooh, y'all messy. And now, mind you, again, Calfani had just finished telling Adriana, I ain't with the drama. I ain't with the arguing, the fighting, the foolishness. I'm just not trying to do it. And here she come. So Calfani said, I got to have a conversation with him. I'm about to have a conversation. So he goes to have a conversation with Denise. And he talks to her about, I'm not feeling the jealousy and the insecurity. And she asked him, I was like, this chick is a trip. When he walks in, she like, are you done? He said, am I done what?
Done what?
You know what you doing. Are you done? Are you done playing? Are you done messing with the young bucks? Are you done?
But in her defense, she says she loves hard. So right now, think about it. Besides Anthony and Calfani, she hasn't dated there's nobody else. So she has put all her eggs in those two baskets, and more so in the Calfani basket. If somebody takes Calfani away from her, she going home. She has nothing left. So she said at this point, she needs Calfani just to stay around. And I understand she love hard, and she loves Calfani because she said I love hard. So I'm figuring she already love him. She love him. And to see him with somebody else is like, ooh, dang. Not to mention she didn't catch him kissing on the couch.
Yeah.
When they were smooching on the couch. And they was laughing and giggling like that with school kids and stuff like that. So it really would have blew up if she caught them on the couch. But nonetheless, Denise was in the bed all upset and mad. And Calfani got a little bass in his voice that when he was talking.
He was like, look, I ain't for to being rude. You ain't have to be rude when you walk past when I'm talking to somebody. And she was like, but do I matter enough to you for you to get up and come talk to me first? He was like, well, I gotta come talk to you? You gotta have confidence in the fact that you have made such an impact on me that I'm talking to somebody, but you still there.
That you still there. I'm getting to know this person so I can make a conscious decision to who I want to be with. This is what the show is about.
Yes.
Do I make a conscious decision to be with you? Right now, you're slipping on a list because you're showing that you can't handle it.
Mm-hmm.
You're showing that you're jealous that you deal with drama. So we out in the mall and somebody say, "Hey, Calfani, how you doing?
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Calfani?" Knowing that I'm a person. And think about this: the line of work that he's in.
Yes, absolutely.
He doesn't just train men. He trains some women, and I doubt that, and I dare not say that there's some women there just because it's Calfani.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. So you wouldn't be at his job while he's training? Come on, you better not talk to him.
Yeah, I'm saying.
Come on, he can't live like that. That's his livelihood. That's his business. Trust him to do what's right when y'all in this relationship. Again, but understand where you're at. You're on a game show.
And he said a game
Not
show.
a game show, but you're in a game.
It's
a reality show.
A dating show.
You're on a reality show.
Yeah, and he says, what he said is, I'm still trying to figure it all out.
100%.
And she says, okay, then I know how to handle myself.
I know how to handle it. Which means I'm gonna try. So I'm the next dude to try to holler at me. I'm gonna try to holler at them too. So
that's what it sounded like to me.
Sound like to me. Anthony about to get a phone call or a late night visit, but we don't know yet. So we'll see.
Yeah. So, in the meantime, in between time, we also see Brian and Alex having a conversation.
This dude right here.
Oh man.
Got another word for
I don't know. He's like, Brian wasn't never one of my favorites. You know, he wasn't like one of my favorites at the top. Like, oh, you know, that's a good guy. You know, just the impression I got from him. And he's steady slipping. Each and every week. He
slips at the right week. He slips at the week where the men get to vote somebody off. He never slips at the week when it's the women getting ready to vote somebody off. Or somebody just does something just as dumb as he does, and they got to go.
And so he's talking to her because after the meetup with the friend, he needs to see what's up, you know, where we standing at. And she says, you know, she's just not sure what shifted, but she needs to reevaluate her feelings. And she said, it's not so much you. I just need to see, because what's echoing in her head is her friend was like, you're giving me the vibes like you just not that into him, like you're not feeling him, like there's something that you're holding back. And she was like, I need to figure out what that is.
She was, ever since the Alicia situation,
mm-hmm.
she felt some type of way because he didn't tell Alicia that he was going to her room, or he lied to her.
Mm-hmm.
So he lied. And so we get to find out a little bit more about Alex, that she had been in an abusive relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So I take the lying that he did earlier in the abusive relationship and put those two together, that she's having some kind of flash of the person that she was with. He lied and probably abused it. She didn't say what type of abuse. Could be physical abuse, could be verbal abuse. She never said. But your boy Brian act like he just kept talking like it didn't even, like she didn't even faze it. He didn't say, "Oh man, that really happened. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. You know what? I'll be more careful with you. I'll be more gentle. Can you explain the story?" He had no interest in whatsoever that she had just told you, being vulnerable to you, that she had been abused. Dog, wrong.
She says she felt like he just dismissed her feelings and that he's not a good listener.
No.
Cause he did. I mean, he was in that vein, but it was like very superficial about her, you know, regrouping and getting herself together after the fact. But it was very.
He didn't know how to be compassionate. He should have been looked in her eyes and said, you know what? I'm sorry to hear that. I really, man, dang, what happened? How did you overcome that? How did you, you know, really be invested in what she was saying? You know, how did you build off of that? How did it make you better, or where are you at now in your place? It could have been anything instead of going on talking about what he left and talked about himself.
Yeah.
No compassion whatsoever, and that's you don't do that in those situations when you dealt with somebody who's been abused, when you dealt with somebody who's been molested, when you dealt with somebody who's been physically. You gotta have compassion for them, and have a listening ear. And it's not even that much, but it's just in general, have a listening ear for women in general, or each other, or your mate.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah. He dropped the ball with that.
So then we see after the conversation, well, sometime after, it's not immediately after, because we went from nighttime to the daytime. Denise is outside, and my husband was like, "She's smoking. She got the little island. She got the."
I saw the little roach situation. I'm like, yo, they letting her smoke weed on OWN. Like, what Oprah? Like, I'm like, yo, what Oprah doing up in here?
No, but
I thought she was smoking one up, y'all.
Nah, I knew it could be. It could be that, but we find out she's out there saging. She's saging, and you know, Simone and I think it was Simone walks past like, you know, oh girl, what you doing? I think it was Simone. Oh, I'm saging myself. I'm saging everybody. She was like, you know, I'm trying to get all this.
I ain't into saging, but come on, y'all. Make it make sense.
It was kind of funny.
Make it make sense.
I don't know.
Make it make sense.
So we see Simone. She goes to talk to Rasheed.
Yeah.
And, you know, she sits down and she, you know, tells her, I really like you. And I want to date you. I want to date with you. And he's like, oh, okay.
He couldn't say no.
I like you too. I mean, she was bold with it. She walked up. She was like, "Can I talk to you for a minute? You know, like, you're not. I like you, I want to date with you. You know, I'd have held off long as I could, but I want to date with you."
And it came right in time.
And he was like,
came right in time for my man Rasheed, because you know Adriana's out there with Calfani,
right?
King Calfani. She out there, you know, with the big chocolate dude and the light skin brother. Hey, and guess what? It's good for Rasheed. Hey, Simone came through.
And he was like, okay, word. I want to date you too. And she said, he was like, I'm going to have to hook that up. I'm going to have to figure it out. She said, all you do is just let me know when and what I need to wear. And I'll be there. And he was like, I got you. Don't worry about a thing. I got you. I got you.
Hey, it was. I like the fact that she approached him.
Yeah.
And then he was like willing to accept, because sometimes you don't see too many women on the couple years that we watched this approach the guy. Usually the guy approaches. But I like that in her, because they even have a conversation about that a little bit later when they go on their date.
Well, let's go. Let's go ahead and talk about their date.
Uh-oh.
And so Simone walks up, you know, and Rasheed's there, and she's like, "Oh my gosh!" And so Rasheed, you know, he's a luxury car broker.
Yeah.
The car god.
The car god.
Okay? And so I see the scene. I'm like, man, he got the old antique truck. Whoa, that joint is nice. And he's got the picnic thing going on in the back of the truck.
The picnic basket, like Yogi and Boo Boo.
Yeah, picnic basket. I was like, oh, he's like, yeah, so, you know, this what I do. So I had to figure out how to get, you know, the little sexy antique truck going on. And he hooked it up, and Simone was like blown away. I was like,
she was giddy. This is a different Simone. We saw a confident, more relaxed, more into herself type of Simone in this episode.
But I heard an older, experienced, wise couple that we know.
Yeah.
They said they do that right now. He tell his wife, come meet me. And they sit on the back of the pickup truck and they have lunch. I was like, oh snap! So this a thing?
I might need to buy me a truck.
But I thought it was cute. And
if I got a deal on a good truck, what's up?
She was like, you got the rose petals, the pillows was in there for them to lounge. You know, she was like,
she took her shoes off and she laid up and talk to him?
She did. She was real relaxed, and you know, she was like, oh my gosh, she just really did good. But it was a good space because they could sit there and get to know each other.
Yeah.
And you know, he was
do what
like,
Tommy said, go deeper.
Right, and he was like, you know, we want to talk. And she was like, good, because I have questions. I got a list of questions I want to ask. And, you know, she asked him, what was your first experience with failure and how did you handle it? And he shared that he was a slow reader. He was a slow reader growing up, and they put him in special ed classes, and how his mom was like, no, I'm not having it. You're not going to put that label or put that box on my son. And she pushed for more for him. And he said it ended up him going to college, and he ended up being the first man in his family to graduate from college.
Yeah, and I can definitely understand that and attest to that conversation, you know, because being the first man to graduate from college for my family is really something special. And then when people have labeled you, and I've worked with kids who've been labeled all the time, and you know, and try to get them to another level. So I understand where you come from. My hat goes off to his mother too for being a strong mother who didn't accept the fact
and advocating for
a child, because so many young African American men get labeled and just need that extra push, that extra help, or someone to be in their corner to take them to another level. So I'm glad that he shared that story, because there's so much into that story that we can do a whole podcast on that itself. But it's a lot in there, and I'm glad he had somebody in his corner to push him forward, because he talks a little bit later when he's on a date, talking about how his dad wasn't around. You know, so it had to be his mother, growing up with a single mother, who's pushing him to be the best he can be.
Yeah. But we'll talk about that a little bit more, because it was more to that. But
yeah.
And so then Simone asked him another question. It says, well, who do you think should make the first move? And he was like, you know, I'm a bit of a traditionalist.
Right.
You know, I think, you know, the guy should introduce the dating and, you know, ask the woman out or whatever. And so she said, well, how did you feel about me asking you on a date? And he was like, it was cool with me. I ain't had no problem with it.
Right, because she knew how to fall back. He said, because you ask, and then you knew how to fall back and let me be a man.
Yes.
And you let me be a guy. And I think that's what some guys like, where they don't want you to be too aggressive, but also don't be too meek neither.
Yeah.
And so allow me to be able to maneuver in my realm of being a man, but also you maneuver in the realm of being a woman, so we can do this thing together. Yeah,
and he said men are used to pursuing. We're hunters. And she was joking. She was like, pursue me, hunt me, act like I'm a little fox in a I was like, this is hilarious. And so, you know, he was like, you know, you step back, let me be a man. And she was like, okay, I did show you. I did let you be a man. Okay, then show me. He's like, oh, I already did. And he goes in for the kiss. I was like, yes, come through.
Come through. Come through.
Okay.
Again, back to the show. Going deeper. Not putting all your eggs in one basket.
Yes.
Not sitting around waiting for Adriana because she's feeling Cafani. Making moves and building a relationship with other people. I know I mentioned this as like a contest all the time. You want to have as many people to vote for you to stay there
right,
as possible. So you can find that true love. So you have those different options so you can stay put.
Yeah. And so Rasheed says that after this date, Simone is moving up the list. I haven't replaced Adriana, but Simone's a close second. You know, this kind of did it. And I think for Simone, she was like, yeah, because Simone ain't really...
Nah, she's been
with nobody.
She was with Jay, but Jay, she messed that up with the whole Jay being in Winter's Room with no shirt on situation.
Yeah.
Her friend never came, so we never really knew who she was going to interview at that time.
Right.
So, you know, she was on a chopping block from week 1, got saved because Danny went home. You know, she's Mr. Hang Around girl. She hanging around and she might get down.
Yeah.
You know?
And so then we see Edwin, who says he needs to figure out what's the better fit for him between Joy and Naya.
Yeah.
And he has the bright idea that he wants to do some yoga with Joy.
Oh, yes. Yoga.
The tantric yoga.
Tantric yoga.
So he's already kind of getting prepped and stretched a little when Joy walks up. And she already knows. She's like, oh, okay, I see what you're doing. Mm-hmm. I know what tantric yoga is. You want to get touchy-feely, okay.
The Strength of Seduction. I need to get that DVD. That's what it seems like. The Strength of Seduction. You You know that can it be one of our sponsors, the Strength of Seduction. Y'all know anybody, hook us up.
But it's very touchy-feely. And he said if she's willing to do it, the touch will let me know if she's willing to like go beyond. Because right now, again, Tommy told him to get more deep, not just the surface. So deep, like how much are you feeling me deep too? Mm-hmm. And so he says, you know, we want to go beyond that. We're going to try this out. And she says that based on the yoga, because I mean he was real touchy feely. I want you to
smooth.
He was real smooth when you talk about it.
Put your weight on my back. So that shows you how much I can carry you when things are not right and what's going on. Yo, I'm not mad at Edwin. Yo, he had the smooth lines and he was touching the hips. He was on the back, hand on the butt. And Joy was...
I'm just going to put my hands up under here to show you I can support you.
Joy was feeling it. It was sensual. It was safe. It was comfortable. And she liked it.
And in the end, you know, he says, you know, I want to close it out. So I need a kiss right here on the cheek. And she obliged. She gave me a kiss on the cheek.
Kiss on the cheek.
But you know, I think he got... I hate to say it like this. He got what he needed.
He got what he wanted. He got what he wanted to see. And he got what he wanted to feel and understand with Joy. And that she wasn't just attached to Jay. And I think this is where we at in the show, making sure these people, okay, they're still open. She's not 100% with Jay, and so I still have a chance. I still got opportunity. So I don't have to move the winner. I don't have to move the Naya. I can still move and with Joy. So now I can, again, like I mentioned, you got 3 votes. So now I'm feeling Naya, I'm feeling Jay. I mean, I'm feeling Naya, I'm feeling Winter, and I got Joy. Hey, they keep me around for at least another week. Yeah,
and he got what he wanted, and I feel like she did too. She was like, okay, so she got to see something different from Edwin, and all in all, she appreciated and liked the little tantric yoga session, even though she felt like it was a setup, but which it was a little bit.
It was. She obliged.
And so then we see Brian going out with Winter, which
everybody was surprised about that one.
Yeah, and then Calfani and Adriana, and they go out on the tiki boat ride. Brian's trying hard. He's trying to make some more moves because he knows Alex is. He kind of on.
He feels that Alex is not feeling him 100% anymore.
Right, and so he's got to try to make some other connections, like create some other connections.
But I like Winter. She's on a grown woman stuff. She said, I thought you was hooked up with Alex. I thought, I didn't make any moves on you because we thought your Alex was your number one and this is all you was tied into.
And she said, I'm giving you the side eye. I'm giving you the side eye. Because she was like, I want to know, am I just a distraction from Alex? Or is this really about trying to make a connection to me?
Dog, she's on her grown woman. I ain't mad at her.
Yeah.
She understand the game. Don't play a player, dog. Don't play a player.
And so Winter comes with the hard question, which if you know what you're doing is really not hard. Mm-hmm. She asks Calfani, what is it that you like about Adriana? And then she says for Brian, and I'm gonna let you say that. She asked Brian, I'm gonna ask you the same question. After, Calfani answer, I had the same question for both of y'all.
I'm going to let you go first because I want to answer Brian's. So go ahead.
And so she asked Calfani, what do you like about Adriana? He was like, I like her energy. I like her mindset. I like her flow. I like how bubbly she is. I like her confidence. I like her positive outlook and her smile. It's like contagious. It's just her whole persona. I'm like feeling it. Mm-hmm. All right. And so, everybody's like, okay, all right, got you, Calfani. And so to Brian.
He was all superficial. I like, your hips, your thigh, you look good. It was like to the point where just so superficial. I'm like, dude, you never cheated in school? You never cheated on a test? Cause let's be honest. If he got that reaction, you could have said the same thing about Winter. She's intelligent. She's passionate. She's a forward thinker. Again, when you don't ever have a conversation with anybody or spend time with them, you wouldn't know. So he really couldn't take anything but superficial because he hadn't spent any time with her, which proves her point that you're trying to make me a distraction instead of connection because when they go her little cutoff, she's like, yep, just like I knew.
This is the thing, though. we already know from his conversation with Alex that he's not a good listener. I feel like he wasn't. You talking about cheating on the test? He wasn't listening to what Calfani said. I feel like Calfani and Anthony kind of did the same thing, but not because they were cheating off of each other. But remember when they met with Denise's sister cousin? Yeah, it was her cousin, right? When they answered, what do you feel like a man's role is, or whatever the question was, they both kind of came with the same answer. It was a little bit different. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, I mean, like, he was like, yeah, I like her thick thighs, save lives. I like her swag. I like her style.
And there was nothing, it was also official. Now, mind you, he didn't know. Winter's the one who pointed out Jay had a little mark underneath his eye. So she's already detail oriented. So she's already into the detail, and you're coming with surface stuff? Dog, wrong ass. She wouldn't even feel him on that TV no more. And he tried to bun up, and she was like, I'm just being nice.
And she was like, I just did it for him. Let's take a picture. Oh, how will we look good together? We look good together. And she was like, I was just giving him what he wanted. Just posing for the fake selfie. Just,
She's not feeling him.
Nah, she wasn't feeling him. But we see then Jay and Joy talking, and they said something that was hilarious. Like, I got it off the top. Joy, sitting there chit-chatting with Jay, and she was like, people laugh and joke and call you Mayweather dicks. And like, Jay spit his drinks out. I was like, oh my gosh. So they're trying to say he looks like Floyd Mayweather and Tay Diggs. I thought that was funny to me, because I was like, I could see it, Mayweather Diggs. And like, so she explained that to him. He was like, oh wow, for real, for real. And so they got a good laugh on. And the one comment that Jay said to her is, you snorted when you laugh. He said, I feel like you wait all day and you only snort with me. And she's like, yeah, probably so. But Jay, we talking about get past the surface. Jay made a point that he was like, we always laugh to the point where it's hilarious and you end up snorting. Yeah. We've laughed so much that we both end up crying laughing. And we just spent a lot of time, and I think he said, I missed my friend today. She was like, just friend? He was like, no, not like that. I mean, like, we have a good time. I don't just like you.
Well, you're my buddy.
Like, we're friends too. Like, I like spending time with you, and I'm feeling you. And, he was just like, so don't take offense. And she was like, oh, okay, I get it. Yeah, okay, I missed my friend too.
I know the feeling.
Yeah, we're not going to do that today.
I know the feeling. I know the feeling.
We're going to keep going in this review.
You're my friend. Jay, you watching this, dog, I know the feeling, man. She does too. She just don't want to say it.
It's not about us. This is about a Ready to Love review,
sorry.
Okay?
Yes,
all right. Always does that. But anyway, so y'all don't know. All the Married at First Sight people know. He always try to flip it. But anyway, so I thought that was a little cute interaction between Joy and Mayweather Diggs. Later on, we see all the couples, and they're having a dinner. Yeah. And they talk about how when they all sit down to dinner, it's always something. They have a little good time. And I guess this is not the first time they freestyle.
Freestyle, right?
But they had the freestyle battle at the table. Naya pops off with her little thing.
Simone
educated pops off her little educated rap. And then Calfani.
DMX comes out.
Ripped the whole table. I mean, he just went boom, 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 boom. He hit it to the point where Adriana was like, wow.
Who's this?
Where did this Calfani come from?
She was she was feeling that Calfani.
She had to tell him. She had to tell him, like, wow. Like, I got butterflies. Like, oh my gosh, wow.
He moved up on her list a little bit more.
That was awesome. I was like, was this off the dome? Or is this something he said before, And so, she was like, I like it when we make eye contact across the room, and they both talk about how it's like kind of a little giddy feeling they have looking at each other. And so he's like, oh, you feel that way from across the room. Well, how you feel when I get like this? And then that's when the smooch happens. And she was like, for real, I feel like I fainted. I fainted inside. She swooned. She said, oh.
She's like the girl in the front row in the 5 Heartbeats.
I just saw that the other day. It took me back. But Denise, honey,
Hey,
you got problem on your hand.
hey.
You got problems on
Somebody
your hand.
closing in, dog.
Yeah,
Somebody closing in.
you got problem on your hands because the two of them.
Yeah, they moving.
Yeah. So then we see Winter and Anthony.
Mm-hmm.
And
She admired Anthony's calves and.
yeah, she what she said. No, that's not what she said.
Oh,
this is what
I
she
know
said because I was like, you know what, this is funny. This is funny to me. She said she really hadn't been paying any attention to him,
Mm-hmm.
and then here come Anthony out with these tight shorts on, these trunks on, and she was like, and I'm seeing. He got the tight shorts.
Oh,
She made a point to say.
Here come the medical professionals come out.
No, she made a point to say, I see him in these tight shorts. And she was like, the pecs is popping, the triceps and the biceps. And I was like, that don't have nothing to do with them shorts. She talked about the shorts, but everything she named was upper body.
Was upper body.
I think she was so distracted.
Make sure on body parts.
I was like, you mean the gluteus maximus, the quadrant? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey. But yeah, she was like, wow, boom, pound, ping. She was like, Anthony caught my eye. Okay. So they sit and they have, a conversation. Yeah. And she said what she found was that she was in a relationship and in her marriage. And basically off the top, the guy that she was all wrapped up in 3 weeks or after they got married, he cheated.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a one-time thing. And, she was like, I kind of looked past it. I tried to get past it. I like forgave him. And she was like, I feel like the person I'm holding down wasn't holding me down.
Yeah. And she was distraught. She wanted somebody to hold her down. She wanted somebody to be able to be with her and connect with her on that level and to uplift her and keep her where she's at.
Yeah.
And I think, I think that experience in her life, and I said it this whole review, her perspective from being a grown woman and knowing what she wants and being able to verbalize what she wants and not see and see somebody and see when they playing games is going to make her, when she find love, that good wife.
Yeah. She says, I just want somebody to be good to me and that I can be good too. And Anthony said he was feeling the vibe and her energy, even though he is feeling Denise. That conversation, he was like, they gave me a better perspective. They gave me a better perspective of Winter, and he could really appreciate what she said and her sharing that. And I feel like he gave her good response back. Again, when it came to that,
he listened.
Yeah.
He listened. He understood. He was she was talking, he was making eye contact. He was nodding his head. He was understanding. So therefore, she was like, okay, I can go deeper with him because he's feeling me as I tell my story.
Mm-hmm. And so then we see another out of the ordinary, because we trying to get deeper. We trying to explore more connections. We see Rasheed and Alex.
Yeah.
Going to play the little basketball joint. Rasheed and Alex go out because she wants to explore more connections because she's only really been, with Brian, and
she's on the chopping
Brian's not giving her exactly what she's looking for. So her concern is that I want to explore more connections, but I wonder if it's too late because I've been so focused on Brian. Maybe it's too late to make these connections because people are connecting with other people.
Yeah,
so she wants to see if she's out of the running. And so they have a conversation. Mm-hmm. She asks him. So we already got from the conversation with Simone.
That's right.
What's a failure that you've overcome? And so Alex asks Rasheed, what's the hardest thing that you had to deal with and that you overcame? And what he said was that his father passed away at an early age. At an early age for the father.
Yeah.
I think you kind of said it different.
Yeah.
But his father's only 57. Mm-hmm. And so he didn't get a chance to see him finish college. So Rasheed was older. Yeah. But 57 is young.
Still young.
Is young for a person to pass. And so, it was that my dad didn't get a chance to see me graduate and I accomplished this. So, you know, it was hard. It was hard for me to deal with that because I wanted him to see basically the fruit of his labor.
Yeah.
You know, because, you know.
What he poured into me, what he taught me, what he trained me up with, and what he gave me, what I overcame because of him and my mom and them helped me out. So, yeah, he felt that type of way.
And what Alex shared was that her mom was in a really bad car accident.
Mm-hmm.
And she had some issues that she had to deal with as a result. And her dad became her mom's permanent caretaker.
Yeah.
He takes good care of mama. And Rasheed's soaking it up. It's like, okay, so is that an influence on what you're looking for in a man? And she was like, yeah, it is. I'm looking for somebody that would be willing to, because that's a sacrifice. It was a sacrifice for her dad
to love me so much, to take care of me.
And whatever issue she has from the accident, it's like a full-time job. Mm-hmm. To dedicate that time. And so she said, I'm looking for somebody that's going to dedicate the time to me, take time with me, that listens and cares for me.
Yeah.
And Rasheed soaked it up, was like, you know, okay, yeah, I understand that. I mean, just from telling the story, you had to be listening to then ask the follow-up question.
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, I'm feeling that. And Rasheed had to admit, now I got quite a few.
Okay. Again, he has multiple choices
exactly.
now.
I'm a little confused by my choices.
And they got multiple choices, so now it's like, okay, Rasheed has put himself into maybe a good mix where, you know what, I may not go home next week.
Oh, I mean, he's definitely not going home.
But I'm just saying.
But it does make and that's what we talked about.
It shores it up a little bit.
Yeah, but what we talked about too with a dating type of show like this is the more the goal is to feel everybody out, but the more connections you make, it is harder to make a choice on which way I should go, because you don't want to make the wrong choice and be like, God, dog. Shoot, I should have went that way. So Tommy meets with all the guys, and he asks Brian, you know, what's up with you and Alex? And he was like, yeah, we a work in progress. And he's like, okay, so but are y'all stronger or weaker? Yeah, we're streaker.
This nigga never gives us. He never gives a straight answer.
Tommy said that. He was like, you never answer my questions.
And that's the problem.
You
he never gives
me
a straight answer.
Yeah.
And that's why the girls don't like him. Because he don't give a straight answer. He's not. Again, goes back to his insecurities because he wants everybody to like him. Mm-hmm. That's his insecurity. He wants everybody to like him. Mm-hmm. He doesn't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
Yeah, and so Tommy asks, is it something you think you can fix? And Brian says, yeah, I think so. And he almost blows past it. It was like, was it anybody else that have a connection? And Rasheed was like, me.
Yeah.
I had a connection. And he was like, okay, so you know what y'all talk about. And he shared the story that she told him about his mother, her mother.
Yeah.
And her father, Brian, being a caretaker. And I mean, and he talks about it. And Tommy's like, wow, okay, that's interesting. Brian, have you heard that story before? Did you know that? Brian was like,
nope. Nope.
And Tommy was like, well, that says a lot. Like, you've been all into her, but you never heard this story before?
Nope. She went on one date and got the story.
And Tommy says, bruh, I don't think you listening. You have to be listening.
Yeah.
You have to pick the brain of this person. If you're saying you're trying to deal with them and date them and be ready to love, then this is the kind of stuff you should be talking about. She should be able to share herself with you. She went on one date with my man.
He got all the goods. Except, I mean, all the information. I say good.
And you've been steady dating her, and you don't even know what makes this woman, what makes this woman.
Nah, he doesn't.
Wow. I was sitting there watching it like, Tommy, ask Brian.
Yeah.
Ask Brian. I know Tommy will come through, and Tommy said it. Brian, did you know that story?
You know, speed along a little bit. Tommy goes through everybody, and you know, Calfani sticks up. I don't like drama again.
Yeah.
I'm feeling a lot of drama from Denise. A lot of things are going on. I'm just not feeling it. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm Adriana. I've had some good times with her. You know, I'm smiling. I'm loving life. I'm enjoying it. And he's talking about it as a Calfani way with a smile on his face. Mm-hmm. He's giddy. You know what I'm saying? And he's giddy about Adriana And so they like, yo, it's time to come to the time. We're like, okay, who got to go?
Wait.
Oh,
We're not going to pass this.
All right, go ahead.
Because Tommy says, let's talk about joy.
Oh, yeah.
And Edwin says, yes, the light of my life. And Jay smirks, chuckles, tries to drink his drink and can't drink it.
Can't drink it. He felt some type of way too.
And Cal finally like, bruh, Jay, you can't even take your drink. This is funny. And Jay laughs. He laughs about it. And Edwin talks about the yoga and how he says more intimate than sex could ever be. And all the guys in the room chuckle like, okay, bro, whatever. But that interaction was funny because
I forgot about
Jay,
it. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Jay is like, basically, I got the joy thing on lock.
Yeah.
I got the joy thing on lock.
Yeah,
and the fact that Edwin thinks he gonna move in on, I think Jay thought it was funny. He did.
Jay thinks it's a done deal.
He thought it was funny.
Edwin is sliding. Edwin is drifting in.
Yeah.
He's drifting in.
Yeah. And so they talk about Winter. So Jay and Anthony both say they have a connection with Winter. Rasheed shares that he had a date with Simone, kind of feeling that. And he said in the perfect world, he would like at least another week to date her again. And so Tommy asks about Naya. And Rasheed's like, I'm not feeling her. I don't like it. I don't like that she DX'd my man over that one thing. Like, I'm not feeling it.
Edwin said he had a little connection with her. They talked.
But he said he saw that as a red flag, too.
He saw that as a red flag, too.
And all the guys was like, yeah, I don't know why she did my man like that.
Again, she wasn't feeling anybody. Nobody else was really feeling her. Again, she didn't have too many. She didn't have enough irons in the fire. And so when Chris go home, he was saving her. Maybe Naya go home.
Yeah, and then just to go back to what you were saying, that, you know, Denise is in there with Anthony and Calfani.
Yeah.
Some of the other guys was like, huh? Anthony was like, I mean, I like her. She's energetic. She's fun. I like being around her. Calfani said, yeah, but she's territorial. I don't like that jealousy and that insecurity stuff. You know, I had to talk to her, whatever. So, long story short, they come down with their two, because they only eliminating one person.
Yeah.
And they come down to the two people they go to talk to.
Denise and Naya.
Yeah, Jay goes to talk to Denise, and Rasheed is there talking to Naya.
And this is Denise's second time in a row.
It is.
In the bottom, you know, potentially going home.
Yeah, so Jay talks to Denise, and, you know, he's like, how's everything going? And she's like, you know, I think it's going pretty good. Yeah. I do have, you know, quite a whole lot of focus on one person, and Jay was like, you might want to watch that. The jealousy and the insecurity, be careful with that. You know, some of the guys are feeling, she was like, oh, like I'm too aggressive. Yeah. And like they can't breathe. You know, so you might want to diversify and tighten up the reins a little bit, because no guy want to feel like you got him. Got him on lock.
You got to loosen the reins a little bit, he not tighten. Loosen. Yeah,
he says it's a delicate balance, and well, we're just gonna let the cat out the bag, doggone it. And so Jay tells Denise,
"You free? You good? You good?
You good? You ready to love?" And she's like, "Phew," you know. She says, "Okay, I'm good." And
got some things to work on.
Got some things to work on, and she says, "You know, I understand it's a dating show, and Calfani, he's good to, you know, go out there. He can explore, see what's right for him." But she said, "I don't like the disrespect." I was like, she was not listening.
Yeah, listen. What disrespect you talking about?
What is the disrespect? Just talking to Adriana? You were talking to anybody but her.
You went on a date with Anthony. He can go on a date with Adriana. Nah, next.
So poor Rasheed.
Rasheed got the luck of the draw, right? Rasheed got the luck of the draw. Don't want to take my man to Vegas. Rasheed, you watch. Hey. He got the look of the draw to talk to Naya. And it's going well.
But I already knew it was going to be something. When she said, you know, he was like, you know, you want some wine or some, yes, I need some red wine to calm my nerves. She already know it's going to be something. I don't think she know it's going to go like it's going to go.
You got to know. When they call you at night to this thing, you got to know. It's
but she know, because they had to do it before.
Yeah.
That it don't just be one person.
It be a couple people.
It be a couple of people. So you don't really know how it's going to go down till it go down. And so Rasheed talks to her about the fact that, you know, the guys were thrown off about what happened with Chris. You know, it's just, that whole thing is like, you know, what happened. And she says, well, I really wasn't all that into him.
Right.
as much as he was into me. I went out at, and you know, Rasheed's like, wow, okay.
It didn't seem like that.
Didn't seem like that.
Yeah.
And, you know, they talk about the situation. And so Rasheed says, you know, the guys talked about it and we decided that you're just not ready. And she straight gets up.
She gets, not, y'all ain't gonna embarrass me. Mm-mm.
She said, you can say it to the couch.
And my man Rasheed was like, he looked at the camera, looked at the producer. He's like, yo, what y'all want me to do? So then they switched to a scene, and Rasheed is like, you're not ready to love. Yo, that was to me, that was the part of the show that I love. And she was like, hey, you're not ready to love. I told the couch. So then we see the producer trying to get Naya to come back.
You gotta come in and do the interview, and she's like, "What? No, you won't embarrass me.
You won't embarrass
I'm not
me.
going. You're not getting ready to embarrass me."
She had a lot of potentials. She had a lot of potentials ready.
Wait, this what she said.
I got my boyfriend waiting for me.
But she said this to Rasheed, in part, and even more so to the producer. It was like, oh, Chris was going to come up talking to me. Like, I made him the topic of conversation.
Yeah.
Like, he was trying, she tells the producer, I'm the prize.
I'm the ball
All
man.
the guys was trying to talk to me, because I'm the prize. I wasn't really never that much into nobody here. I wasn't really feeling Edwin. That was just something to do.
That's some high school stuff.
Bro, she was hot.
You were the one that went and approached him. You were the one trying to kiss him. You was like, to me, she made it seem like, you know what, I'm just on the show just because it's a TV show. I'm trying to get my come up. Again, you were the one that want babies. You don't want a husband. You want a baby maker. You want to have babies. You don't want somebody to love. You just want baby. Well, I ain't gonna say that. Never mind. There's a clinic for that.
Yeah, but she was like all about Naya. You know, I already had potentials lined up before I came in here. I put them on hold so I could come on the show.
My boyfriend Atlanta gonna pick me up
to see if it was anybody here that might be in the potentials. My boyfriend from Atlanta's coming to pick me up. The producer's like, who?
Who?
She was like, I wasn't feeling nobody on here. I just did it just to do it. Y'all not gonna embarrass me. I ain't like nobody. She said, she was just like, it wasn't.
Like, it was nothing. Like,
of course they want to be with Naya, because Naya is who she is. Yeah. I was like, ooh.
Chris, you won. Chris, don't be mad because you didn't end up with Naya right now because she's not, no. That right there, and I like Naya. But the attitude that she gave,
that was terrible.
It was terrible.
That was terrible.
I was in her corner. I'd rather than voted Denise off than Naya.
Yeah, at first we was thinking it was going to be Denise.
I was like, yo,
but she showed her tail.
So the men made the right decision by telling Naya, you know what, you're not ready to love. Because there's nobody on that show that wants to put up with that.
Because she's not ready to love.
She's not ready to love.
She's ready to be impregnated.
She's ready to be impregnated. She
ain't ready to have no relationship.
No, she ready to have babies, and that's what it is. She wants babies. And there's nothing wrong with wanting babies, but let's do it in right order. Let's find love first.
Wow.
Let's get married, and then let's have babies.
I don't know what to say.
We want to know your thoughts. What did you think about the whole Naya blow up at the end of the show? Please leave a comment in the comment section below. Let us know what you think about Naya and her blow up. Man, and then Chris, you lucky guy.
Yeah. But thank you for joining us for this Ready to Love review.
Yeah, before you go though, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Yep. Make sure you hit that bell notification. Make sure you check out the links in the description. Also, next week on Ready to Love, 2 got to go. One man and one woman. So
it's gonna be interesting.
Interesting. We're getting down to the nitty gritty.
Yeah.
The nitty gritty.
Yeah.
Hey, with that being said, once again, hit the subscribe button, bell notification, and we'll catch you down the road.
Bye.
Bye.